See what we got here. I got a few What? Ciao. What's up? Nothing like some good water. Hello and welcome. It's a good day to just chill, relax. Hey, bafangu, huh? Adios, hater. It must be them days when all these haters come out. What else is new? They got nothing better to do but be a dick. Well, good luck trying to get under my skin. That's never gonna happen. Hello. Miss Mania. I like the name. Pasha. Let me guess, you're from India, maybe? If so, nice. So, Miss Mania, where are you from? How is your day? How is everyone's day? My day is peaceful. And who is that? Bonjour. Okay, you're from France. Hello, my darling. Okay. Cheers. Unfortunately, my French is quite weak. I only know certain words, certain phrases. What are you guys up to? Bro, you skipped me. Don't think I did. If I did, my apology. But hello. Hey, what's up, Joe? How's it going? Great choice. Yes, Joel, he speaks French. Perhaps he can be my translator. So if anybody does speak French, he can let me know what you're saying. You're from the Netherlands. Okay, nice. Yeah, I'm assuming it's bedtime for you. And, oh, okay, you're from Algeria. Okay. Between Dolce and Gabbana, the one and, I don't find anything pleasant when it comes to an armpit, but I would prefer the one over that. Whatever floats your boat. All right. So lately, I've been checking out different fragrances, and I'd say about, 2 weeks ago, I went to Saks Fifth. I never really checked out anything from Hermes until one really caught my eye. And I cannot stop raving about Thierry de Hermes Intense. And I can understand why some people don't like this fragrance because it has weak sillage and it has moderate projection, but it is what it is. It happens. But the longevity is great. What I really like about this fragrance is the coffee and licorice, and it's almost like it's a gourmand. Okay, I'm gonna correct you, sir. I'm not gay. I don't roll like that, but if you do, congratulations. But I am not having that kind of shit on my channel. Anyways, this is a lovely fragrance. I get decent longevity. I really like the mineralic undertone with lava stone. But what I recently been experimenting with some of my other colognes that are in the background, this one layers really nice with it, Cedrat Boise by Mancera, which gives it a nice smoky, leathery dry down. It layers really beautiful with a amber fragrance, which complements the intense mineral undertone in the base. And it also layers really, really nice with, what's the other one? Replica Jazz Club. Or if you're looking for something that's more a sophisticated freshie, it pairs well with Blue Day Chanel too. Do I have any SHL fragrances? No, I don't. No. During the day, I don't really go live. I tend to go live during the night, but it happens. You know, everybody will have their fair share and try and take a crack at anybody that does content. Me, a perfume maker? No. I'm a fragrance reviewer, yes. But eventually in the future, yeah, I will be making cologne one day. I know how. I learned. One day I will. Not right now. So without further ado, I'm going to talk about some of these other fragrances that I have laying out in front of me. Starting with my best friend's fragrance. I have a friend who happens to be a perfumer that makes his own. And his house is called Native Perfumes. He's from Louisiana. And lately he's been starting to catch a buzz on YouTube. And here we got Oud Tobacco Cafe. And when you hear the word oud, you guys are probably thinking, oh, oud is terrible. And it actually isn't with this scent profile. He uses one that is light and dark, and it's both tolerable and pleasant. So think of, let's say, Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille or Mason Alhambra Tobacco Touch, and a boozy dry down of, let's say, Angel Share or Fire on Ice without the jammy raspberry. This one definitely performs very well. I get about 12 hours in longevity, and it layers really nice with other like gourmand fragrances. So in other words, this is like a Similarity of tobacco vanille and angel share on steroids while being still pleasant and also being really, really noticeable and not overwhelming or overpowering. Beautiful scent. Hello, Christina. Red tobacco elixir? Man, I don't know. Whatever Pierre Montel feels like doing on his Mancera line, I think the last 3 new ones are Explicit Vanilla, Intense Instant Crush, and Intense French Riviera. But red tobacco, they don't need an elixir when they already have intense red tobacco out, and that one alone is nuclear, just like the original red tobacco. Yes, so if any of you people that are new into my channel and you wear fragrances, let me know what your scent of the day is. My scent of the day is nothing because I'm doing my live stream and I'm going to be smelling like a bunch of stuff. So, with that being said, I finally got my nose on Latafa Assad. It was sent my way not too long ago from a buddy of mine. Told me I should check it out. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, would I say this is absolutely a clone to Dior Sauvage Elixir? Meh, not really. It's a really great take on that DNA, but I would say maybe an 8 for having that similar DNA. But what I feel like in the dry down, it goes a different direction. But it's still a good, cheaper alternative. And I'm happy to have this in my collection. So, with that being said, I thought I would do a live first impressions. Now, this sillage around me, it has that designer-ish sillage here in the opening. And what I'm getting is intense black pepper, tobacco, and a touch of pineapple. So there's a little bit of freshness there. This is really, really nice. I like this. But what I'm also picking up, though, is like licorice in the background. So this is pretty good. Now, I don't see a lot of people wanting to wear this one because of the intense spiciness in the opening. This one feels more sophisticated and mature, but what I really truly love about it is it has a beautiful powdery heart with iris, and then it has this nice vanilla, creamy sandalwood, amber, and benzoin in the dry down, and that's what helps make this fragrance last. Really, really nice. So I'm gonna let that develop before it transitions to the heart. But that opening is very, very intense. And for a beginner, I wouldn't really recommend this one to a beginner because it might make him feel overwhelmed. It might not be something that he's into. But I like this. For once happy to have another Latafa in my budget-friendly collection that's sitting down below on the very last shelf back there. And this one's pretty good. So, another one I'm going to check out here. And this is from Ordo Parisi. We got Bergamosk. Never really checked any of this stuff out, and I hear it's pretty good, so I'm quite curious to see what this smells like. And who knows, I may just like it. That's if I can get this thing open, which I think I got something for that. I don't know. might not open unless I, there we go. Oh, that just got all over my hands. Oh man, talk about citrus. Wow. Well, I'm gonna pour this on here and let that sit, see what it smells like. Very bright, very citrusy, kind of sharp. It's very, very bright. I get like fresh cut lemon, lime, bergamot. This is pretty good. I like this. I'm liking this one. Put a little more on there. Actually, let's put it on skin. Man, you want to talk about freshly squeezed lemon and citrus? Bergamasque by Ordo Parisi will really give you that kind of opening, like you got a bunch of lemon, lime, bergamot sitting right in front of you, and you just decided to chop them all up. That's what I'm getting here. It reminds me of lemon head candy in the opening. That's pretty good. That is definitely something I wouldn't mind having a full bottle of, and this would make a really nice spring and summer fragrance. All right, well, we'll let that one develop and see how it transitions. I guess I will move on to another one here. Here we got from Native Perfumes, which I actually did. Yeah, it's actually kind of similar to Mancera Lemon Lime. I could see how that one could tie into this. Yeah, it's quite similar. I don't own Lemon Lime. I hear it's pretty good. But something else is drawing me into this. There's something else in the background, in that opening, is just enveloping around me right now. It's like it has this distinct I want to say like something like citron, but a little more crisp, ripened, like juicy bergamot. Another citrus that I'm picking up besides bergamot. Something along the lines of, let's say, what's in Pacific Chill by Louis Vuitton, that crisp, bright, sparkling citron note. That's what I'm picking up. And that smells absolutely amazing. I'm going to let that one develop and see how it transitions. But that's pretty good. And I don't have much in that, but I'm going to let that sit, let it air, and all that good stuff. Man, is that opening so sharp. Man, it's like pungent. It just stings the nostrils, but in a good way. That is definitely full bottle worthy for me. I don't own nothing from Ordo Parisi. I wouldn't mind ordering that. I've had my nose on Magnamar, and that, kind of reminds me of Amberful by Mancera. But this is really, really good. Man, is that good. The opening, it's really like rindy, like the rindy part of a peel. That is what I like here. All right. I'm going to let this one develop. And let's see what Latafa Assad is doing here. Now I'm really getting this powderiness here in the heart. Let's see what this is. Start a Q&A and move it up here. I see what you did there. 70% of the time, it works every time. Yes. Man, is that really, really good. Rindy, very, very bright. Man. All right. Latafa Assad. What do I really think about it here? It's starting to calm down. It's settling down. The heart is really starting to come in. I'm picking up that iris. It's starting to get slightly powdery, which I absolutely like. Here we got Oud Gourmand Delight, which is by my friend, Jerrion Clayton. So shout out to my friend, Jerrion Clayton. He makes phenomenal fragrances that do not cost a lot of money. And if you're into like gourmands and you like something with oud, but it's not funky or fecal or barnyard, this is probably the best gourmand coffee style fragrance I've ever got my nose on. You could just tell by the juice. It's a very nice oil concentration. This one alone, I get a good 16 hours on skin. And all he really makes is EDPs. And I think he's finally starting to do extracts. And he finally changed up his bottles. And I plan on picking up some full bottles off him in about a week or two. And I want to have Oud Tobacco Cafe and Oud Gourmand Delight. Now this one here, it has two ouds. One is light, one is dark. And they're both tolerable, very pleasant, and not overwhelming. And also you get notes of coffee, caramel, chocolate, and some spices, and over a soft, subtle rose. It's a really, really beautiful fragrance. And if I was to compare this to, let's say, Latafa Tobacco Touch, I would choose this because this one is more realistic. It has better quality, more raw materials. And my friend, he knows what the heck he's doing. So I figure I'd talk about these two because they're my favorite from his line. And now this one here, Bergamasque by Ordo Parisi. That intense citrus is starting to settle down. It's getting kind of warm. I'm getting a little bit of like, let's say, vetiver, maybe. Maybe some nice, soft patchouli. Maybe a little bit of white florals. I think I'm getting some like jasmine. And this one is really getting powdery with that iris, and the vanilla amber is starting to kind of come up. This is pretty good so far. All right, the moment I've been waiting for. When I bought my newest fragrance from Saks Fifth, I was lucky enough to get the newest release from Xerjoff. And even though it's like a 3 milliliter sample still. And here we got, by Xerjoff, we got Coral. And according to my buddy of mine, Grim G Got Sense, this is actually on his radar. And I smelled this one in the store. And I gotta say, I like this way more than Herba Pura. This one is done to perfection. So we're gonna put you down here. See if I can get you to spray. All right, couple of sprays there. Oh yeah, talk about juicy, ripened strawberry that is done right. That is what I call a very nice fragrance. Think of Smarty Arty candy, all right, with some strawberry, little bit of vanilla, and some florals in the background, and this juicy, I want to say there's plum or maybe mango here. And it just really opens up and it really brings you into that experience of like living in a tropical paradise. This is freaking phenomenal. That's going on my radar. That is something I would really like to own. Coral came out this year, and this is freaking delicious. My mouth is actually watering. Man, is that good. They knocked a home run there with that one. That is such a beautiful fragrance. My God. Man. You know, when it comes to like strawberry or cherry, I have a hard time liking those kind of notes and fragrances because I had a bad experience with one from Lattafa, which was called My Cherry Intense, and that was straight up garbage. Sorry to say. The dry down was okay, but the opening was like cherry Robitussin. And from that point on, I kind of stayed away from cherry fragrances. And it had strawberry in it. And it kind of ruined my mood. But then, you know, ended up giving Mind Games French Defense a chance. When I got that, that totally changed my aspect with strawberry and cherry fragrances. So here I am liking another lovely fragrance by Xerjoff. Coral really gives you that tropical essence. It really brings you in. This is a beautiful fragrance for spring and summer. I think it's going to perform really well for like extreme high heat. I think this one's really going to have great longevity. It's definitely unisexed. It does slightly lean feminine, but I don't care. I like this one. I'm so glad I was able to get this free sample to check out. I've been dying to get my nose on it again. It's an addicting scent. All right, moving on to another one here. While I'm gonna let these ones develop and see how they transition. Now this one here, I'm still getting a bit of the top notes and the heart. It hasn't really brought in the dry downs yet, so this one is pretty good oil concentration. And now I'm starting to get something else here in the dry down. The dry down is starting to come up from Lattafa Assad. It's almost like ashy in the dry down. And I like this one a lot. So I can't wait until I get my hands on the new Lattafa Assad Elixir. I'm looking forward to that one. And I found a couple stores that happen to have it already. That one I'm definitely pulling the trigger on. Because from what I hear, the dry down is similar to Boss Bottled Absolute, which happens to be one of my favorite purchases I got this year. All right, let's move it on here. Here we got a sample from Mind Games. Double Attack. I hear this one is pretty good. So I'm curious to see what this one is like. So we're going to go right over here. Talk about these samples here. They really do spray out some good stuff. Wow. This one here feels like a gourmand in a way. I get like chocolate. I think that's what I'm getting here. Oh, it says what's in here right here. So let's see what it says. So double attack utilizes the multifaceted notes of chocolate. So that's what I'm getting here. I'm getting like a few different like elements of chocolate where it's bittersweet, velvety, and there's some woody notes as well. I'm enjoying this one. It's kind of soft. It's not overpowering and it's noticeable. So, exceptionally effective in breaking down defenses. All who experience it are enveloped in an opening of spices, florals that give way to underlying base notes of bourbon. So, this has got some nice bourbon as well. I'm going to let this one develop, see how it goes. But I'm liking this one. This will probably be my next Mind Games fragrance. Since I own two, I can see myself owning this one. This one to me is like a nice holiday fragrance for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. That's really nice. Man, is that one good. And here we got Mind Games J-O-Dub. So I'm curious to see what this is like. Now I hear this one is kind of like sultry, so this is something my aunt would like. Oh, okay, that is different. Quite intriguing. Whew. Wow. Talk about a realistic pomegranate in the opening. Wow, that that is amazing. That is literally like I'm sipping on a smoothie with pomegranate. It's just that good. Wow. This is beautiful. It's really got this intriguing sensation. Engulfs with this, it's got this like pomegranate, rouge grossly, and this really, really nice fresh mandarin. Wow. Man, is that good. That is really, really nice. Well, I know a couple new Mind Games are definitely going to end up in my collection eventually. Maybe, probably by Christmas. Long as Olfactory LLC has a sale. That is amazing. I'm getting this like distinct wood. I don't want to say driftwood, but something there. It's like a sharp, pungent wood. Almost sort of like oud in a way. But I'm not really picking that up. This mandarin is kind of like on the sour side. And let's see here what I'm picking up that's giving me that. That's what I'm getting. The mandarin here is kind of like bitter, kind of sour, and I'm getting this nice subtle leather that's starting to come out where it's quite animalic but pleasant, where it's blending really nice, and then it's got this patchouli, earthy patchouli on the backbone. This is something you would consider sultry. That is a phenomenal scent, and I'm liking this one so far. I can see why not so famous YouTuber likes this one. I can see why a lot of people like this one. You might have to. Right. That happens. Yes, it does. So I got Coral here. I got Geodub here. I got a double attack here and Bergamosk there. Bergamosk here is getting really soft, really nice. Kind of almost feels playful in a way. That would make a really beautiful spring and summer fragrance. Maybe early like fall when it's still kind of warm out, like a daytime scent. That's pretty good. But overall, I'm enjoying what I got going on here. And I'm a fan of mind games, regardless of how expensive they are. When I go for that kind of stuff, I go straight to a discounter where I get $100 off. And I like mind games. I like what they have to offer. And a lot of the other dupes out there that I've came across and got my nose on just do not touch the perfumer's master skills that she or he has when it comes to mind games. It's just, I like what they do, how they incorporate chess pieces into their fragrance line, like Rui Lopez. That's a phenomenal one that is inspired by the classic chess opening, playing chess. That is an amazing scent. Now I got 2 new samples, and I remember what Ross said on one of his live streams. Just sample it because, you're probably going to like it. And sure enough, all the times he talked about French defense, and I had a decant. I went through that decant like crazy. I think within a week, I ended up ordering some more decants. And then eventually, I finally got French Defense and Roy Lopez. And now I got 2 new samples from Mind Games for free. And I like these 2 a lot. I do see myself owning these 2 sometime down the road. Oh, you're doing a test on Ride of Zerjoff Starlight tonight. Oh, cool. Well, since you're here, JJ, I'm testing out Mind Games J-O-Dub here, Mind Games Double Attack up here, Ordo Parisi Bergamosk, and I got a new one from Zerjoff. I have Coral, which is, I think it's right here. Here it is. This is really good by Zerjoff. Came out this year. I'm happy to have this. This is Coral, and I like this one a lot. So I definitely see Grim G Got Sense owning this one. This is definitely on his radar. And as much as he loves tropical fragrances, this one really truly gives you that experience of being in a tropical paradise. What I enjoy of this one is the strawberry in the opening. It was done absolutely right. It's fruity, but I also was picking up some really sun-ripened mango and some citrus with a little bit of soft floral, maybe some vanilla. And now, yeah, this is a must-have. It does lean slightly feminine, at least to me, but I could see men pulling this off. And I definitely see in Grim G Got Sense owning this one. I wouldn't say it's straight up feminine. I would say maybe 50-50, at least to me. And that's my honest opinion. But I like it a lot. That I'm happy to have that. So that'll last me. Coral is definitely fruity, but more on the tropical side. Like, for example, Herba Gold is more like tropical with citrus. Herba Pura is more tropical with florals, almost like a floral gourmand in a way. While Herba or Xerjoff Coral is more of a what a tropical fragrance would really smell like. And that reminds me of like that I'm sitting somewhere down in like Cancun somewhere, enjoying the beach, laying in the sand next to my girl and enjoying a cocktail or a nice cigar and enjoying the breeze. That's what that fragrance brings me to. All right, let's see how Latafa Assad is doing here. The dry down is very warm, very vanilla-y, but it's almost kind of ashy from this like earthiness to it. I'm liking this one. This one feels dapper for a budget-friendly fragrance. And let's see how Bergamosk is doing here. Bergamosk by Ortal Parisi is starting to change. It's starting to bring out some wood. And I'm liking this one as well. This is pretty good so far. And I'm assuming this is a perfume concentration. I'm liking how this one's starting to transition. I'm starting to get the heart notes. I'm starting to pick up some of the dry down here. This is something I'm probably going to have to do research and see how much I can find it for. That's something I would like to own because this one here would make a really nice layering fragrance with like Cedrat Boisé, intense Cedrat Boisé. This one would layer nicely with lemon lime or even Boss Bottle Bold Citrus. That is worth having. You could do so many layering combos besides wearing it by itself. That is going to be in my collection soon. And double attack, man, double, it's getting really chocolatey, velvety, kind of earthy. Man, is that one good. It's got like different elements of chocolate where one's being kind of sweet, semi-sweet, and bittersweet. Wow, that's a good one. And J.O. Dub, I'm liking how this one's starting to transition. Man, is that a good one. No, I haven't. I'll tell you, my favorite gourmand that has chocolate is by my buddy, Native Perfumes. And I had, this is like grown up stuff right here. It's called Oud Tobacco Cafe. And if you like Angel Share or Tobacco Vanille and you want something a little cheaper, but it's still going to give you really good performance, it's a black-owned business. His name's Jerry Clayton, one of my good friends. I talk to him every day. I know some people are starting to review his fragrances. on YouTube and Instagram, and he's starting to catch a buzz. Oud Tobacco Cafe. Think of, something along the lines of Angel Shear, Tobacco Vanille, but um, a little more mature, sophisticated, but better performance and better longevity. And JJ, you got quite the nice collection and scent profiles you go for. You should definitely find them, talk to them, check them out. You won't be disappointed. And what is this guy going on about? Eon Flux? Shadow Cat? I have no idea what this guy, he's on some other level. Hey, what up, Spence? How's it going, man? What's your scent of the day? I got a whole bunch of fragrances on me from Double Attack, J.O. Bergamosk, Latafa Assad, and something new from Zerjoff, Coral. And I'm really liking this one, Bergamosk by Ordo Parisi. That is a very nice citrusy forward fragrance. I'm really liking J.O. by Mind Games and Double Attack. I'm feeling those two. They're fucking amazing. Any vetiver? Yeah. Actually, yeah. But it's not for the faint of the heart. Oh, you like that one? By Exanilio? I checked that one out. The Hedonist, that's very nice. I like that one. The only vetiver frag I have as of right now, we got Nichene Sultan Vetiver. Beautiful fragrance. Mansera Vetiver Sensual is great. And the Hedonist is a nice one. This one here, it's very sophisticated, very mature. It's not for everyone. I don't consider this one juvenile, but this one really takes you on a ride when it comes to vetiver. It has different elements of vetiver. I like it. I'm a fan of it. I blind bought it and I fell in love with it. I paid $80 for this one from Olfactory LLC. It was on sale. I think it was the last one. And this one really gives you like different elements of what vetiver smells like. And there's so many different vetiver fragrances out there. And this one's my favorite. This is fits my personality because it's gets a little dark and it gets a little more green. It has really nice green facets to it, green nuances. It's really, really good. And it layers nicely with other fragrances as well. In fact, if you're a fan of Louis Vuitton or Raj, or if you own a sample or a decant or a bottle, this one really makes it a nice woodier profile where it's like, something I would consider dapper. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful fragrance. I'm a fan of this one. And I'm happy to have it in my collection. I would definitely, when it comes to vetivers, some of them can be quite powerful. That one's powerful. But my best personal recommendation I can give you, I would start with like something from Mansera Vetiver Sensual. That is like a beginner's niche house when it comes to like vetiver profiles, or even the one by Exanilio, the Hedonist. That is very pleasing. It's nice. I feel like that is a great way in stepping into niche. It's not very funky. It's a good one. And that happens to be my brother's favorite. And I own nothing by Exanilio, and I think the Hedonist is probably going to be my next fragrance purchase. I'm a fan of that one. And as far as mind games go, yeah, I'm a huge fan of them. And I think J.O. would be my next mind game fragrance purchase for sure. I really like the opening of that pomegranate and that mandarin there, and how the leather comes in with this earthy patchouli. Yeah, that one is definitely sultry, but it's really beautiful. It's well done. It's smooth. Man, is that a good one. And the only other fragrance I did pick up, even though this one isn't getting much love, I still like it. For those who just dropped in, I'm a huge fan of this one, Thierry Hermes Intense. I'm a sucker for coffee and licorice when it comes to fragrances. That's something I really go for. And this one is along the lines of like a gourmand type fragrance. And I really like that mineral undertone in the dry down. This one also, if you own it, keep in mind it does have moderate projection and sillage, but the longevity is quite decent. Excuse me. And this one does layer very nicely with different fragrances, but something about it, I never really owned anything from Hermes. The EDT is nice, but once I sprayed this one on skin, this one really drew me in, and it's so good. You really get that coffee. You do get that licorice there. What else that really stands out in the opening around me right now is bitter orange in the top. And that's why I like this one. It's done right. It's great. I wish the sillage and projection could have really been a little more there, but it just happens. And I think it comes down to the perfumer. And a lot of the times when you're working with citrus notes, they don't last as long unless you got something else up there that's going to help it push out those scent molecules. Or, for example, another citrusy fragrance that's kind of mineral with maybe a solar note would be Parfums de Marly Cologne. Not a lot of people go for that one. It gets slept on, and that was my favorite fragrance. My very first purchase from Parfums de Marly. That one makes a nice fall fragrance. You could wear it during the summer when it's kind of cool out, and that's a good one as well. And what's crazy, that one lasts, but it has a lot of heavy notes in the dry down. And you're welcome. Yeah, anytime Joel or Spence is here, they got their scent profiles nailed down, especially when it comes to vetiver. I don't have much with like vetiver scent profiles, but eventually I will. Yeah, it's not for everyone. I think it's back here, hiding. Yeah, right over here. And it's not for everyone at all, It's just, it's that, I think I pick up Palo Santo here. It's got a solar note, and that's what's different about it. And that's why I like this. It's different than anything else I own back there. And this bottle is already half empty. I should have got a bigger bottle, but hey. But this one does not disappoint. And what I like about this bottle is their insignia, the cap. It's kind of hefty. It's got a nice feel. And a lot of their fragrances do not disappoint. And some say some of them are synthetic. I do agree with some of their scent notes that they use, which helps push out a lot of these fragrant notes. But this one doesn't really feel that synthetic to me. And I'm a fan of this one. It's my only one so far. I do have samples of others. Yeah, I actually tried Ojan at Saks Fifth. I actually uploaded a video on my channel many weeks ago on Ojan. On paper, it smelled amazing, but as soon as I sprayed it on skin, whoa, way different. And it took me on a ride, and it got very warm. Like, I remember what that smells like. It got very warm. It definitely gave me like baked goods, like fresh out the oven, baked goods with some like apple, cinnamon. That is a really great fragrance for the fall time and winter. Another really good one I checked out as well is Habdon. That is another one I would like to own. And that's like baked apple pie, but a little different. You never tried it yet, but add our collection collide. Oh, cherry and boozy note. Okay. Cherry and boozy. Huh. You know what? I'm gonna grab my notebook and I'm gonna write that down. Is Ojan in the Angel Share realms? What'd you say? Nah. Ojan. Not really. I don't know about that one. Ojan doesn't really feel boozy to me. Not really. Habdon is really, really nice. I picked up on that one from Bowtie Neck Guy. Bowtie Fragrance Guy, should I say. Shout outs to Bowtie Fragrance Guy. I was watching one of his videos on Habdon. He was talking about it, and it had me very curious. But if I was to tie in, let's say, some of the notes from Angel Share, the spice, cinnamon, I guess in a way you can say it's kind of tied to like Ojan far as the spices go, and the warmth with like cinnamon. Far as the overall booziness, not really. I don't really pick up that boozy feel from Ojan. It's definitely gourmand. In a way, it reminds me of a more high-end niche gourmand of like something, let's say, Stronger With You Amber with like something from Plume Impressions Royal Bourbon. In a way, but a little more heavier and a little darker. I guess that's the best way I can put it. But Ojan's on my list. But ever since I got my nose on Habdon, I prefer Habdon over Ojan. I don't know why, I just do. And one of the other fragrances I did check out not long ago was the new Roja Elysium Noir. And that one is totally different from the original Elysium. It's very clean and fresh. It's a very nice fragrance. Kind of slightly soapy in a way. But, you know, I started laughing when I went on to Fragnatica and Parfumo. And some of these people were comparing the new Elysium Noir to like Dylan Blue, Bleu de Chanel, and I just started laughing because It's nowhere even similar to any of those, so I'm pretty sure the haters were just talking out the side of their neck. And Elysium Noir is on my radar. That is another Roja fragrance I definitely want to own. So with that being said, I think the only cherry boozy scent I have is French Defense. And I haven't really came across anything that beats that one. But when I was on Instagram yesterday, Sensual Obsessions, he's got a new fragrance out. And he did his inspired twist off French Defense. And I'm curious to see how well that one performs. And I plan on picking up some things from Sensual Obsessions. And he happened to subscribe to my channel not long ago, maybe a month ago. And I'm a fan of his work. Sensual Obsessions has phenomenal stuff when it comes to inspired twists. And his stuff performs better than half all these other clones or dupes out there. If I really want a clone, I would rather just buy from Sensual Obsessions. Because I plan on getting that new one that he came out. Do I believe in Jesus Christ? Yeah, I do. It must be them days, Joel. It is Sunday. Maybe some guys are feeling quite holy today, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of religion in your life. So for any of you guys who like clones and dupes, and you want to explore a different house, you should definitely check out Sensual Obsessions. I know he has a sale going on. He does exact mashes on different stuff. And he makes his own stuff besides inspired twists. And there's a couple I plan on buying in a couple, like I'd say within next week. I'm grabbing 3 from him. I'm probably going to get this new Roja Elysium Noir. And I'm buying some fragrances off my guy that I support, Native Perfumes. So I'm going to have some new things. I'm not going to go crazy like I did the last couple of months, because I'm going to be saving up for something special for me in December. And these guys are coming out today. They're coming out heavy. It's been a while since I did a live stream on Sunday during this time. Normally I like to try and go around 8 o'clock, but given the certain circumstances, and since it's quite peaceful here, I felt like maybe I'll just go kind of early today. Yes, Black Friday deals are starting to come up. I started noticing some pre-sales on Joma Shop. I did put one pre-sale in for Joma Shop, and I guess I'll see how it comes and how long it takes to get here, because I hear they could be a pain in the butt where some people can wait a month or two. So I guess I'll see what happens. And I ended up pulling the trigger on a Suspiro. I ended up going with a recommendation from a buddy of mine that I talk to a lot on Instagram as well. And I ended up getting Deep Ocean Amber by Suspiro for my first fragrance. And I saw Joma Shop had it for $150 some on sale. I pulled the trigger. So I will see how long it takes for that fragrance to get delivered to me, because I know some people been experiencing long waits. Oh, you got maraschino? Nice. Very nice. Yeah, Dolce Melodia, that's a nice scent. Maraschino is absolutely beautiful. That's another cherry fragrance. I would have to admit, they did that one perfect down to a T. Yeah, I'll let you know on Deep Ocean Amber. I'm very curious about that one. I like the scent profile, so I'm curious to see how that one does for me. But other than that, what's another one? I do have another uh bunch of other samples that's in my dresser drawer. I thought about pulling out some other ones, so don't go away. I'll be right back. I got some other interesting, intricate decants from Mio Fushini and some others. So let's see here. I got a whole gang of stuff here. So I want to see what else I didn't smell yet. Yeah. Actually, I think I did this one. Sony by Mio Fushini. That's not for everyone. Yeah, I have Mio Fushini in front of me, but here we are. I never smelled any of this, so you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about. We're gonna talk about these two, because some of these guys that are in my live right now, there's only a couple people, and that's okay. I'm gonna talk about Sony, because this is a very interesting scent profile. So this is definitely gonna refresh my memory here. I forgot how this one smells. It's been a while. This is on my radar, and this is like Mio Fushini here, Sony. This is definitely different than anything I own in my fragrance collection. One thing I'm going to say, there's a lot going on here. In the opening, I'm getting like steamed white rice, like a rice cake, fresh steamed white rice coming out of a fresh microwave. And I'm picking up bamboo. It's kind of dry. It's kind of creamy. And it has these really nice pine needles in this fragrance, like Japanese black pine needles. And it's really, really nice. And this is what you would consider art. And you just got to appreciate this one. This really, really takes you on a journey. There's a lot going on. And I like this one a lot. I want a full bottle of this sometime. I don't have anything from Mio Fushini. And the other one I got my nose on was Buyo. That is an interesting scent. And if you like stuff that is dark and mysterious with like cade oil, you would like that. That one really took me on a ride. But this one is great. I like this one. You have to like rice, because you're going to get steamed white rice in the opening. Yeah, dark times. Yeah, they are sad fragrances. Yeah, there is. I subscribe to his channel. I messaged him once before. I left some comments on Instagram, and the one I really want is Sonny Boyo, and that one I think that came out in 2003 or 2024. I think it's Viola Violet. That one has me very, very curious about. And this is such a good fragrance. Like, I feel like a lot of people sleep on Mio Fushini, but then again, it's just not for everyone. This is not mass appealing whatsoever. This is strictly for all those cologne collectors out there. Unless you really enjoy fragrances with rice, because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get rice, pine wood, it's pine. You're going to get this key signature note that he used, which is like a Japanese black pine needles, and you do get a little bit of like this grassy vetiver. So, and what's so distinct about it that stands out, that is so unique, is bamboo. He has bamboo in this, and that is a distinct scent. So I definitely wouldn't recommend this to a beginner that's new, starting this fragrance journey. No, that's definitely not something I would do. These type of ones from like Mio Fushini, or let's say Ipico, those are strictly for people who truly like niche and who are pretty much a fragrance connoisseur. So with that being said, I would say if you're definitely gonna explore Mio Fushini, JJ, I would definitely do your research before pulling the trigger, or just buy some decants and check it out that way. Because a lot of his stuff, if you read his poems that goes with that fragrance, some of them are really sad. But I like this one. Something about this one, I really like it. I think maybe I would go to maybe his website, or maybe check out I think Max Aroma has certain ones from him. Olfactory LLC might have a few things where you can get samples, or Scent Split. I think Scent Split carries Mio Fushini, but it's definitely different than anything I've ever had in my personal collection. And I got to give thanks to one of my subscribers that subscribed to my channel, and I know him from the Zed Lounge on Facebook. He talked so much about Mio Fushini, and I did my research on it. And there's another YouTube channel I do watch from time to time, and he's a big fan of Mio Fushini. I think he owns probably 8 fragrances from him, and they're different than your typical everyday designer fragrance. Every fragrance by Mio Fushini is different, and that's what I like. I like true artistic creations. Now, is this one a wow factor? No, but it's very interesting. Now it's really getting that deep black pine needle smell. It's getting really earthy. Man, is that good. That is absolutely a beautiful fragrance. So with that being said, let's see what this other one smells like before. So here we got, let's see here. Nasamoto. I have no idea. So let's see what this one's about. And I'm just gonna wipe this one on my skin. So I'm curious to see what this is. Wow. Okay. This is different. I guess I'm gonna go right here. Oh, shit. Man, a lot is coming out of this one. Wow, this just went all over my arm. Oh, man. Talk about nose fatigue right now. Whew. It's almost like, it's like sake all around me. Japanese sake. But man, is that freaking good. Ah, man, I got so much on my arm right now. I have no idea which one this is. I think it's just called Nasomoto. And I'm going to let this one, I'm just going to do it right here and let it there. I'm going to let that go. See how it dries. There's definitely something going on there. Wow, this stuff is potent, man. Holy cow. Yeah, I opened up this little package by accident and it just squirted, shot all over my arm. My arm is soaked. And all I'm smelling around here is this. Okay, I can still smell Latafa, so that's good. I'm going to let this dry down because this is quite intense. I'm going to let that settle down because right now I smell like I just left a bar drinking a whole bunch of sake shots. Because that is really intense. And I'm glad I could still pick up my other fragrances. So I'm going to let this one calm down before I even put my nose back because that is some strong stuff. Man, I don't even... I have no idea, but whatever I'm smelling, it's definitely desensitizing my nose receptors, which is what nose blind is. So I'm gonna let that calm down before I even stick my nose back there because this is really strong. So with that being said, I guess I'm gonna talk about fragrances that I'm really looking forward to checking out in a couple of weeks. What's on my radar right now is the new Latafa Assad Elixir. I'm looking to pick up another, I think I'm going to get an Exanilio Hedonist. I think I'm going to pick that one up. I don't have nothing from that house. I'm going to pick up some fragrances from my buddy Native Perfumes. And I might pull the trigger on Mancera in Intense French Riviera. I found it. It is out there, but it is a hefty price point. But I'm really, really curious about that one, whether it's going to be a hit or a miss. Because not everybody likes French Riviera, you know? In a way, I guess you can say it's like, you know, it has that shower gel type scent to it. But with that being said, I still like French Riviera. But intense French Riviera, I'm really curious. I'm curious to see how that one's going to be. Because I'm just hoping it's not going to be a disappointment like Blue Day Chanel Less Exclusive was for me. So I guess we'll see. Man. Now it's starting to calm down here. This one is this one's pretty pleasant now. Now that it's starting to really open up here. All right, here's what it's called. It says right here. It's called let's see, Nasamato Sudan Naso. That is what spilled all over me. But it's starting to really calm down. I kind of pick up like a boozy coffee here. Yeah, let me see if I can get it up to the screen so you guys can kind of see and get it to focus in a way. So it is called like Sadanaso. I have no idea. But it's starting to really, really get nice. I hope they don't, hope for you they don't do like they did with intense red tobaccos. Oh, I like both versions of red tobacco. I gave my original red tobacco to my dad, and I kept the intense red tobacco. I like that one a lot. It's smoother, but the only thing that's different than the original, it has a pear in the top, and that's the only difference with it. Other than that, it's really no different. Other than, in my opinion, intense red tobacco is nuclear. But so is the original. And especially if you have a screw cap, man, that one is strong. Yeah, I'm hoping they don't. I hope Intense French Riviera is going to be really, really nice. So, Sadomaso. Oh, wait a minute. Sadonazo. By the looks, I think I'm starting to figure out what it means. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't need to say it. I already know what you're telling me. But you know what? I like this. I like this. I'm picking up like coffee. But it's not coming from Latafa. There's like a hint of coffee here in the background and some spices, but that opening, I don't want to say it in case there's some youngins on my channel that are like 18 or whatever. But that one really gives you quite the opening. I believe that is the one that has what I think it has on the cap, right? It's skinny, long. I'm assuming that's what's on the, with the, yeah, okay. Yeah. One of my buddies sent me that my way. This is not for everyone. This This, I guess you can call a April Fool's type scent, where it's going to really give you that scent you just walked out of an alleyway and just got done having a good one night stand. That's what this fragrance is giving me. That's the kind of experience I'm getting here. Man, man, it's definitely changing. Wow. It smells like I just got done having a good night with my girl. That's what I smell like right now. Yeah, I couldn't recommend that anybody that's new. This is not for a beginner. This is definitely for people like us, a cologne collector, fragrance connoisseur kind of person. But this is something I could see myself wearing on April Fools, just to prank people. It's not bad. It's really interesting, and it's really wild what some perfumers can do with these notes and make it smell like Dirty Dancing. I guess that's the polite way I can put it. Porn star dancing. I guess that's the type of title I can leave this fragrance at. But I like it. I'm kind of happy I checked it out. But would I wear it as a scent of the day? Yeah, maybe on April 1st as a joke. But there's not many places you could wear this one to. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's something I couldn't wear every day. There's no way. Absolutely no way. Because I might just have the wrong type of crowd following me home. All right. Man, I'm definitely going to be washing my arm. Let's see here. That's Mind Games. So I'm kind of glad I could still smell the rest of my fragrances. Man, whatever's giving me, there's something there that's giving me that distinct, warm sense of smell. Oh, man. Oh, boy. That's just wild. The stuff that people can do with cologne. Yeah, I think that's the end of me for my live stream, because right now I'm smelling like I just got done having a good night with my girlfriend, and I don't think I would ever buy a bottle of this one. Oh. It kind of, I would take Zaharoff Triple XL over this one, because Triple XL with Joey Cannoli and Zaharoff, that one's very wearable. But even with that fragrance there, it does give you that fun, skanky feeling experience, but it's not a bad fragrance. It's very masculine. Yeah, I appreciate everybody stopping by, checking me out, talking about fragrances. It's been, well, a little over an hour, and it's time for me to end my stream and go enjoy my night. So without further ado, you guys enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Smell your best. Peace. Let's see. Get out of here. I guess it's still going. All right. Peace out, y'all.